Hey Frag fam, what is going on? I hope you guys are all doing well today. Elliot here. Welcome back to the Fragrance Well. So you see the video title, Smell Like the Best Man in the Room. I am talking about a specific event though. As I'm shooting this video, it is officially Labor Day weekend here in the United States, where we are supposed to celebrate the labor force. We don't really have the labor force that existed when this became a thing, but nevertheless, it's a day for people to kind of unwind, kick back, and really kind of cap the end of summer in terms of any breaks. You know, all the kids are back in school, football season is officially back, all that yada yada yada. Anyway, a lot of people are probably doing some kind of Labor Day event, get together with friends or family, probably a barbecue or something of that nature. Well, that's what today's fragrances are for. These are 8 fragrances that I may consider wearing if I were going to be going to a Labor Day event, albeit friends or family. And I am talking about, like, you know, you're chilling out, you know, even if it's not necessarily a barbecue, you're not doing anything extravagant. I'm not thinking like a bar or nothing like that. I'm just a chill environment. You know, that's my aim and focus with these fragrances. That being said, I did throw in a couple that if I personally were barbecuing, I might spray on, or well, yeah, like 1 or 2 that I might spray on just because it kind of counters the smell of the smoke. But anyway, we'll get into all that here in a second. So again, 8 fragrances for Labor Day. Have you smelling like the best guy at the Labor Day celebration. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. But before we do, as always, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you do like the content, and please hit that bell icon, enable notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And as always, I will link the fragrances down in the description below if you would like to check them out. Let's get into it. All right, guys, we're going to kick it off with this one coming from Mancera. This is Sicily. Mancera, Sicily. Now, this fragrance, for me in particular, I don't know why it is. It just is. Anytime I'm thinking barbecue, this is always one of the first fragrances I consider, and it's especially high on the list if I am personally barbecuing myself. Now, that being said, this fragrance is certainly really, really good for other things other than that, but it's also a really good high heat fragrance. Some people may be getting some fall-like temperatures for this weekend, but a lot of us are still getting pretty much summer weather. That's certainly the case here in Florida right now. But this fragrance is very, very juicy. It's fruity. Think notes like apple, think notes like peach, that kind of fruitiness, if you will. Really fresh florals, a collection of florals in here. It's really, really heavy on the musk. It's just a tad bit sweet, but it's a very fresh and juicy, vibrant fragrance. Does lean a little bit feminine, so, you know, some guys may not necessarily want to go for this, but it's very, very approachable. Smells great. Another thing this could be good for is like a pool party, an outdoor gathering where you want to be, you know, you don't want to be too aggressive with your scent choice. It's a great scent for that. Now, I like to wear this when I barbecue because that fruity juiciness and freshness that this fragrance has, it just counters the smell of like the smoke of the charcoal and the wood and the meats and all that stuff. I'm not saying the two blended together necessarily smell good. It just gives me some relief from smelling all of that. So that's why I always kind of consider this as a good barbecue scent, but also just the vibe of an outdoor barbecue while it's warm. This fragrance is just perfect for that, in my opinion. Once again, from Mancera, this is Sicily. All right, next one's going to be coming from Matier Premier. This is Parisian Musc. Matier Premier, Parisian Musc. So, in my opinion, you go into a gathering where you just want to smell nice, maybe somewhat clean, but not necessarily soapy, not in this case with this fragrance. This is just a good scent to go for. A good musk heavy scent, clean white musk like scent, good to go for. This one has a little bit of a vegetal vibe to it. It's kind of green and musk. I think it focuses a lot on Ambre, which I do believe kind of smells like musk, but has a little bit of this vegetal characteristic and maybe some other characteristics as well. But yeah, I always just call this scent like a vegetal musk fragrance. It's relatively straightforward. You get what you get from it. Doesn't really go through a lot of transition. I don't think you can really offend anybody with this fragrance. I like to spray this pretty heavily because I don't think you can overspray it, but chill vibes, this fragrance is perfect for that. Gathering for Labor Day, and you just kind of want to keep it simple, but not generic. Scent like this is perfect for that. So once again, from Matier Premier, this is Parisian Musc. All right, guys, so the next one's going to be coming from Day 3 Fragrances, and this is Desert Rain. Day 3 Fragrances, Desert Rain. Look, I'm going to go in a little bit more detail on this scent because this is a new release as well as a new addition to the collection. I have not talked about it on the channel, but I'm going to go a little bit more in depth with what I really think about this scent in a different video. I don't really want to do that here. I want to kind of keep this brief, but this scent here is stunning in my opinion. I'm still kind of coming to grips with everything I get from it, but think fresh and spicy. Does kind of have this rain-like essence to it. It smells like it's about to rain or it has rained in a very interesting way. It's got kind of this dry woodiness to it, kind of a dusty quality. I mean, you think the desert, obviously that kind of goes hand in hand, but it also feels like it's celebrating life that exists in the desert in a weird way. I might be going a little too deep on that, but just from a smell standpoint, it smells really, really good. I love the spice profile of this. I get kind of this lightly therapeutic aromatic quality to it. I think there's like a note of sage or something in here like that. That might be giving me that quality, but really, really good release from the house. Again, I'll go into more detail on it later in terms of what I think of the overall release, because otherwise I'll be talking about this too long. But this is an excellent use it for anything scent. You can use this formally as well as casually, and I think the scent will do very, very well. So I might as well highlight for this because honestly, this is now a top choice I would absolutely consider wearing for just something where I'm just kind of chilling with family and friends like I might on Labor Day. Once again, from Day 3 Fragrances, this is Desert Rain. All right, guys, this next one I feel like is a good old standby for me at least, coming from Nishane. This is Hacivat. Nishane Hacivat. So this is like, this is my second favorite fragrance out of my entire cabinet. It's my number 2 scent. Bright and vibrant bergamot, pineapple, oak moss. Well, probably not real oak moss, but essence of oak moss in here. Cedarwood, jasmine. Oh man, I still truly love this scent. This one here, I mean, it's just great for this occasion too, I think. Especially if it's outdoors, because this is an amazing warm weather fragrance in general. But yeah, this one here, I think you're just gonna smell great. You're definitely gonna smell better than most people unless they happen to be wearing this too. And from a vibe standpoint, I don't really get chill vibes from it. It's just a good smelling fragrance, and it's one of my favorites. So I would say in these scenarios, wear a fragrance that you thoroughly enjoy that isn't over the top for this kind of event, unless like, hey, do what you want to do. But for me, I would just kind of keep it simple for these scenarios. And even though this fragrance is very, very special to me, I do think it is a relatively straightforward, simple fragrance that's not trying to be over the top, unless I overspray it, because it is a powerful scent. Once again, from Nishane, this is Hacivat. All right, guys, next one's going to be coming from Savoir Faire. This is Hellaflora. Savoir Faire, Hellaflora. The name does imply a lot of what you get from this scent. You get some florals from it. You also get a really juicy citrus. I think like yuzu or something of that nature is in here. You get some peppery notes, and again, collection of florals. I think there's florals like iris, jasmine, maybe some magnolia is in here. You get just a hint of like this kind of sugary nectar, like sweetness, some musky notes. Really, really good floral fragrance. That to me, it kind of smells like a masculine floral fragrance, if that makes sense. But all that being said, a really easygoing scent, in my opinion. You're going to smell phenomenal at an event such as a Labor Day gathering. It does have, you could say it kind of has chill vibes because, again, it's just not over the top. It's not trying to be super, super loud or anything like that. So I think this would be a great scent to rock at a Labor Day event. So once again, from Savoir Faire, this is Hellaflora. All right, moving on. Next one's going to be coming from Christian Provenzano Parfums. This is Ambre d'Or. Christian Provenzano Ambre d'Or. So out of the whole Christian Provenzano lines, the one that I have smelled at least, I think this is the one that's just kind of meant to be pleasant smelling, but doesn't really make you think of anything else. At least I can't think of anything else that smells like, and I don't mean it as a knock, but some of his like easy wear fragrances, they are reminiscent of other fragrances out there. But this one here, I think kind of stands on its own. I do believe this is an aroma chemical synthetic fragrance. Everything in here doesn't really smell very realistic. Again, that doesn't mean it's not real stuff. That's just how it comes across. Think a little bit fruity, kind of bright and vibrant. Kind of this weird rose-like essence to it. Slightly sweet, kind of a weird woody dryness to it. And it's a very light and bright amber. It's not a heavy, dense amber. It's like a warm weather amber, in my opinion. That's how I like to describe this fragrance. So again, it just smells great. You can't go wrong with it. For an event like this, I think that's a good thing to go for because, for me personally, I'm just not trying to be over the top when I'm just kind of hanging with family and friends at something like a Labor Day event. I don't feel the need to impress anybody. With my scent choice, I can just keep it relatively simple because all of these fragrances, most people are not going to be wearing stuff that smells like this, so you'll still be impressive. But again, you don't have to hit them over the head with it. I think this fragrance does that very, very well. Very easy to rock. Very nice, fresher amber fragrance. Once again, from Christian Provenzano Parfums, this is Ambre d'Or. All right, guys, next one's coming from Vita Bella Parfums or Perfumes. This is Alabaster. Vita Bella, Alabaster. Shout out to the indie fragrance houses, featuring a couple of them in this video. This here, okay, listen, best way to describe this is if you like pear in fragrances, and you want a very photorealistic experience of pear in fragrance form, I'm telling you, this scent has it, man. This is the best pear note I've ever smelled. If you ever get a brown pear that's like perfectly ripe, you bite into it, it's juicy, it's fragrant, you can smell it, it's got just the right amount of sweetness. I swear this fragrance has captured that perfectly. Along with it it's kind of a tropical fragrance, so you also got coconut and jasmine, some sugary notes, some musk in this. So, it's like pear with tropical vibes. So, that's the overall picture of the fragrance, but I just can't get enough of how good the pear is in this scent. It's really, really done well, and that's coming from an indie fragrance house at a fragrance you can get for, if I'm not mistaken, less than $100. So take that for what you will. But if you do like pear fragrances, I would say at least check this one out. But again, great chill vibes scent with this. Could kind of teeter the line in terms of being unisex / feminine, but you'll be approachable with this. You'll smell pleasant. Again, if you're outside, great scent for that. So that's why I wanted to include it on this list. So once again, from Vita Bella, this is Alabaster. All right, and last but certainly not least, coming from Creed, we've got Millésime Impérial. Creed Millésime Impérial. Now, when you're talking about fragrances that just simply smell great, especially for chill vibes, I think Millésime Impérial is one you can't really go wrong with. You guys know it. Slightly fruity, slightly watery, kind of a soft aquatic touch to it. Just this hint of saltiness. A good amount of ambergris is used in here. If you spray it heavy, the more animalic essence of like ambergris starts to come out. But I think it's there to just kind of provide that slightly aquatic, deeper, slightly salty feel to it. And of course, good amount of musk and I think some dry or blonde wood notes in this as well. But Millésime Imperial, iconic scent. I get it. The price is not that great for the bottle, and also people complain about performance. Again, I don't think this is a bad performing scent. I just don't think it projects like people like. Anytime I've sprayed this on skin, and not necessarily heavily, I can pick it up off my skin, but it does sit close, to be fair. But if I'm thinking chill, hanging with family and friends for Labor Day event, at most, I'm probably there at most, maybe 4 or 5 hours, especially if it's not at my house. This is perfect for that. 6 to 8 hours out of this scent, that's all I would need for that event. Either way, though, you're going to smell great. I don't think you can go wrong with a scent profile like Millésime Imperial. If you want one of the clones, go for it. Was it Milestone? There's also some other fragrance releases from other houses that, kind of do their own take on this as well. The scent DNA, I think, just works for this occasion. So once again, from Creed, this is Millésime Imperial. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. If you are celebrating in any way for Labor Day this weekend, please just be safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't get too trashed, if you will, because I'm sure some of you are just taking it as an opportunity for a long weekend. If you do have to work over the weekend, hey, that's life. I actually got to go travel for work on Monday, so I don't get to stay home either. If you are planning on rocking a fragrance for a particular Labor Day event that you are attending, hey, let me know what that fragrance is down in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys plan on wearing this weekend. Thanks again for watching all the way into the end. I really do appreciate you all. Please remember to be well and smell well, and I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.